my name is Saket Kumar Singh. I am working as an assistant professor in Computer Science Engineering Department, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. This is our fifth lecture in operating system. We have till now we have seen introduction to operating system, a brief history about operating system, how many classification, how many different types of operating system are there till now or are coming in future, and then we have seen what are the different types of operating system structures like simple structure, layered structure, and we have in our last lecture we have also seen some of the kernel wise approaches or kernel wise structures like monolithic kernel, microkernel, and hybrid kernel and modular kernel. Okay, so we have seen all these details. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, which is your system call. What is a system call? Even every single operations that we perform or an application perform inside an operating system, that all the things are possible because of this system call. Everything is done with the help of this system call. Okay, so in today's lecture we will see some of the types of system calls and what is system call. So let's see the outline of this lecture. So first we are going to define what is a system call, how we can define a system call, and then we will see some of the system call examples. I have taken a case study, I have taken a scenario from the book that I have referred, which you can find out in the reference. Okay, so I have taken a scenario where how many times a system call happens in just a simple case. Okay, then I would briefly define what is API, that is your application programming interface. Okay, and then we will see different types of system calls. Okay, so now come to this point, let us see what are the different types of system call that we are going to see today. First is your process control. Okay, what are the system controls that are responsible for controlling different processes? As you know that even in Windows or Linux or Unix, all these operating systems are designed in such a manner that it supports multitasking or multi-programming. So n number of programs can be loaded into the main memory. Okay, and these programs when loaded into the main memory, its names changes to process. So when we talk about process, so we have to control means when I am talking about we, that means operating system have to control all those n number of processes simultaneously. Next is file manipulation. So in our first lecture from the very beginning, I am again and again repeating the functions of operating system. So the operating system basic functions are like these only. First is your process control, second is your file manipulation, then device manipulation. What are the types of devices an operating system has to handle, like input output devices. Okay, different types of devices possible, USB devices, audio devices, different types of devices, printers, all those devices. How we can give system call, means first we will see what is system call, then we will better understand this, that how a device manipulation happens. Next is your information maintenance, the system call which are even for maintaining the information, maintenance of information, the system call is used. Next is for communication purposes. Either the communication is internal to the system, inside the system, like communicating like we have seen in microkernel approach, from one application module to another application module, there should be a communication, and that communication was done by message passing model. Similarly here also we are going to see what are the system calls. Means a system call is the background. We just do it in abstract manner, we just request something from the computer system, but what happens in the background, it's a system call that asks the operating system to perform some task. So for each and every task that I am discussing here, like communications, for that also one of the system call will be one or many of the system calls will be generated. Now the last is the protection type of system calls, means the system calls which are used for protection purpose. Okay, so let's see what is a system call. What is a system call? A system call, you can say, it provides an interface, it provides an interface to the services made available by an operating system. So the system call is the one which provides the interface to the services. Services, what are the operating system services that we have seen in our outline just now? Protection, communication, all these are the services. Okay, so system call is the one which provides the interfaces to the services by an operating system, available as small routines written in C programming language and C++. As the operating system and now the computer science has developed, so this may be written in some other programming language also, but the book which I have referred from, at there you can see that this is a small routines, small programs. System calls are the small programs written in C and C++. Okay. So assembly language is also used in some scenarios. In place of this C or C++, there are some scenarios where we need assembly language. What are those scenarios? What are those scenarios where we will be using this assembly language? Like suppose if you want to communicate, if you want to, if some program wants to access some hardware, at that point the system call must be written in the assembly language, because the hardware doesn't understand the high level language which is your C and C++. Okay, so we have to write down the system call. The programmer, the application programmer has to write, if suppose if an application programmer wants to access some of the hardware, then he must have to write his system call in, assembly language, okay, which is a machine understandable language. Now let's see, it allows OS to meet its two main functions. What are those two main functions? Let's see. To provide abstraction to user, program, like creating, writing, reading and deleting file. Okay, we are not aware of what is happening in the background when we are performing these operations like creating, writing, reading and deleting files. So this function is whose function is this? This is the function of operating system. Operating system is providing us the abstraction. Okay, so this abstraction is one of the main function of operating system, and another point is managing the computer resources, like transparent to the user and done automatically. Means we are not aware how the computer resources are being used. That is totally hidden by this operating system. So operating system provides us this two main function. Operating system just removes all the dependencies and handle all the work in background, and programmer feels free, and they just, the work for the programmer is to write the program to give the instructions to the computer. Okay, so example of system call. Let's see the example of system call. What I have taken one of the case study. You can see, let's take an example of writing a simple program to read data from one file and copy them in another file. Okay, so this is a simple case where what you are trying to just read a data from one file and copy them in another file. This is a very simple task, but we will see how many times a system call happen in this example. Okay, so the first thing is, program will need names of both the files. Program will need names of both the files. ठीक, program will need names of both the files. Okay, those are the first step. This is the first step for this example. Suppose if you want to read a file from one file and copy it into another file, then what is the first step? a programmer will write a program that will need the names of both the files. So, how we can collect the name of both the files? Let us see what is the second step. One way is to ask the names from the user, that we generally do when we write a program. And if we suppose if you are writing a addition program, then the number that is to be added, generally students take it from the user itself. So, this is one way you can just ask the names from the user. Okay. In an interactive system, it will require two system call. In an interactive system, it will require two system call. How? To write a prompting message on the screen, like we do printf. Okay. So, whatever the message you want to prompt on the screen, that please give the name of the files. So, that is also a system call, one. Okay. And next is to read the characters from the keyboard. To read the characters from the keyboard, that is also a system call. So, till now we have, how many times we have introduced the programmer in this example, the programmer has taken two system calls till now, just to take the name of the file that he is going to copy from one from another. Okay. This was the example of an interactive systems. Like suppose if you want to take the names of the files using a mouse based or icon based system, many system call will be required. Okay, because in mouse you will know that is a input device. So, that how it will select a menu of file names is usually displayed in window. User can select using mouse. So, for showing the menu of different file names, one system call. For selecting one file name, another system call. For selecting other file name, that would be given the list of the destination should be there. The list of the selection should be here. You can see the list of the selection is given as a menu, and you can select the input file from there. And similarly, there should be a destination list where you can where you are going to keep or copy the file. Okay, so you can see till now if we are using, suppose if we are using interactive system, so we till now we have done two system calls. Okay. So, now let us we will proceed further. Now, the program must open the input file and create the output file. Now, the program must open the input file and create the output file, will again require a system call for both. Okay. Because the program has to open the input file, then only it can perform the copy operation. In previous condition, a program may find some error also. What are those errors possible? Possibility of input file missing, or file is protected against access. Okay. File is protected against access. So, you cannot open that file. Similarly, even if there is a scenario where file was deleted and you are going to find, the program is finding that file, but the file is not available. So, this is an error situation, and what will happen in this case? Program should print a message to console. Which is also a system call. Another sequence of system call will take place if this if the program is printing some error message to the console, and then terminate abnormally, which is also another system call. Now, if suppose there is an error in the output file, like possibility of output file error, like there is already a file with the same name. Suppose if there is already a file with the same name that you are going to keep, then it is possible to have three situations. What are those situations? Abort, which is also a system call. Okay. Delete the existing file, which is for which also it will require a system call. Create a new file, which is also another system call. So, three system calls will happen. This is the best scenario. Otherwise, there you can have one more option, is to ask the user via sequence of system calls to output the prompt message and to read the response, whether to replace the existing file or to abort. Means we can ask from the user that if suppose that if there is a file, there is a output file of the same name, what we can do, either we can delete it, either we can abort our operation, we can cancel our operation, or we can just ask the user. As you have seen, if you want to copy some file in some location and there already one .jpg is present, so we can replace it. So for replacing also you have to give a prompt message, you have to give a prompt message and the response to replace the existing file, and you have to give a prompt message, and whatever the response the user will give, that for that reading purpose also you will need a system call. Okay. When both files are set up, suppose there is no error, both files are set up, program will enter in loop and then reads from the input file. Okay. When both files are set up, the program will enter in the loop and then read from the input file, there also a system call will be generated, and writes to the output file, there also a system call would be generated. Okay. So now if no error happens while copying, the program may close both the files, another system call. Okay. Write message to the console, another system call, that our work has been completed, and terminate normally, the final system call. So how many times I have included this system call, you can see. Even a single example, let me show you. Two system call here, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or this is a sequence of system calls. So maybe 2 or 3 will be required, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So frequently systems execute thousands of system call per second. So these much system calls are required. Okay. So now let us see, this is an example figure of how a source file of the same example, you can see acquire input file name, write prompt to screen, accept input, accept output file name. So these are all are the system call, where these are the scenarios where system call happens. Okay. Now let us see a brief introduction of what is application programming interface. Typically programmer never see the level of details, they don't worry, they don't care about seeing the level of details. Okay. And they design programs according to application programming interface, they design program according to application programming interface. It is a set of functions including the parameters also. It is a set, whenever you will talk about a function, it should have a parameter and expected return values, whatever the programmer is expecting the return values. So it is the set of all the things, set of functions with their parameters and the expected return values. Okay. So if somebody asks you what is an API, API is a set of functions including the parameters and expected return values by the programmer. Okay. Three most common APIs you might have heard about. First is your Win32 for Windows system. Okay. Then POSIX for all Unix, Linux and Mac OS. Okay. Mac OS X, and then Java API for designing program that should runs on Java virtual machine. Okay. So API invokes system call on behalf of application programmer. Okay. When you are using an API, the programmer is it's not calling the system directly. In this scenario, API will invoke a system call, not the programmer can call the system directly. They cannot communicate with the hardware directly when you are using an API. So why do programmer wants this kind of situation? Why do programmers do not try to directly communicate with the system? Why can't they call the system directly? The reason behind this is that programmer wants portability. Portability means their programs can run on multiple platforms, not only on the single platforms, which is provided by this API. So when a programmer uses API, which makes their program portable on multiple systems, multiple platforms. Okay. So there are mainly 6 categories in which system calls can be divided. Let's see. First is we have already seen process creation, or you can say process control, then file manipulation, device manipulation, okay, and information maintenance, and communications protections. So let's see the type of process control. What are the type of which are the scenarios where we need system call in process control. So these are the scenarios. First is if you want to end your program or abort your program, then if you want to load some program or execute some program, if you want to create a new process or terminate an old process, okay, get process attributes. Several times you want the attribute of a process. If you want the state of a process, you will see this in your chapter number 2 when you will study this process scheduling and process information, okay. So there we may need process attribute, state of the process, and where in which state the process is lying right now, okay. Or we may need to set the process attribute also. We can the other system call could be wait for time, wait for event, or signal event, allocate and free memory. This is also a scenario where we may need this process control system call, okay. So these are some examples of Windows system call, like create process, exit process, wait for signal object. And similarly you can see some of the Unix command for process control. First is your fork, exit, and wait. So in next lecture you may when you will understand, when you will see what is process, then you will see how this fork command works, okay. Similarly for file manipulations, what are the scenarios for file manipulation? The scenarios are create, delete, okay, if you want to create a file or delete a file, okay, then open or close a file, read, write, or reposition a file, get file attribute, set file attribute. Some example commands for file manipulations are create file, read file. These are the example commands from Windows. Similarly write file, okay, close handle. These are some of the commands. Example commands in Unix for file manipulations are open, read, write, and close. Now we will see some of the possible system calls for device management. So what are the possible system calls for? You can these are the scenarios where you have to call the system. So first is your request device, release device, okay. Second is your read, write, or reposition a device from USB 1 to USB 2, anything, okay. Get device attribute, set device attribute. If you want to see the configuration of your system, you can just go and click on the properties of my computer. So at there you can see the attributes, okay. Get device attribute, set device attributes. So all those operations requires what? All those operations requires system call. So in device management also, if you want to logically attach or detach some device, like if you want to eject some USB drive, if you want to eject CD-RAM or CD-ROM, or if you want to eject a USB mouse, so even if you are doing that operation, it will require a system call. Example commands in Windows for this device management you can see is set console mode, okay, read console, which is required for when you are performing some print operation, or so write console if you want to write or some message, give some prompt message on the console, then this requires this system call, which is known as the write console. Similarly, example commands for device management in Unix are IOCTL, okay, input output control, read, write. Information maintenance. What does this mean? What are the kind of information that we need to maintain? Okay, so and what are the system calls responsible for that? So let's see. Various possible system call required for information maintenance are, these are the scenarios. First is your get time or date, set time or date of the system. So these are the informations of a system. If your system will not if your system will have a wrong date or time, you may not use the internet. Okay, so for that, if you want to change the time, if you want to change the date of the system, there also the system call happens. Get system data and set system data, we want to update something in our system. Okay, similarly get process, file or device attribute, if you want to get the attribute information of those process or file or device, anything. Okay, set process, file or device attribute. So these are some of the scenarios where we need to maintain the information, and for maintaining these information, system call will happen. Okay, so now what are the example commands in this device management? Example commands in device management are get current process ID. What is this current process ID? Okay, what is this current process ID? So this will be more clear when you will study this process scheduling. You are having some of the states, like this is your job pool, this is your ready state, okay, this is your running state, this is your IO wait state, and some or more suspend state and terminate state are there. So the in programming operating system, different processes just used to move around these states. Okay, so get current process ID will show as the which process is running inside the CPU, it will return the process ID of that process. So get process ID, and even some more system call commands are also there, like set timer, sleep. If you will give sleep, then it means that the process which is running inside the CPU will go in sleep mode. Okay, example commands in Unix are get PID, that will give you the information of the process ID. Okay, alarm and sleep. What are the scenarios where we need protection? Protection provides mechanism for controlling access to the resources provided by computer system. So let's see what are the example commands for protection are there in Windows. It's set file security, okay, and initialize security descriptor, set security descriptor group. Example commands in Unix are chmod, which is your change directory or change directory mode, umask command, which is also used for masking or changing the directory of a program. Similarly chown, this is also responsible for changing the rights of a directory, modifying the rights of a directory. Okay, so that's what this was all for in this lecture. In this lecture we have seen system calls and its definitions. You can use this reference, you can use this book is very nice. Okay, so all around we have completed our chapter 1, which is your introduction to operating system, and some of the brief history of operating system, types of operating system, what were the structures of operating system. We have seen 4 structures, and then we have seen the system calls. So moreover, we have completed our chapter 1. Later on you will see second chapter by Mr. Akhilesh Kumar Srivastav. Thank you.